A few hours ago, the commander of Navy of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Commodore Ali Reza Tangsiri, made a rather alarming statement for the United States and Israel. In particular, this high-ranking Iranian military chief officially stated that Iran is ready for any development of events in the Middle East. According to him, the Iranian armed forces conducted a series of training sessions in order to be prepared for a direct clash with Israel and its main ally, the United States. Commodore Ali Reza Tangsiri also warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of serious consequences for Tel Aviv if he does not stop playing with fire by carrying out various provocations and terrorist actions against Iran. The fact that Iran has prepared for a possible war against Israel and its allies was also confirmed by the Tasnim news agency. Citing their own sources in the Iranian military department, the journalists of this news agency said that Iran, within 5 days, had prepared a detailed and effective action plan for any attacks by Israel and its allies. The journalists noted that Iran has prepared several options for retaliatory strikes in case of an enemy attack. It is reported that the nature and power of these strikes by Iran will depend on the subsequent actions of the Israeli military. At the same time, journalists noted that the recent massive Iranian missile strike on Israel instilled confidence in Tehran. According to them, Tehran has once again been convinced that Israel and its allies are not able to stop Iranian ballistic missiles, and that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is capable of destroying any military facility on the territory of this Jewish state. Meanwhile, independent monitoring services began to record the preparation of the United States and Israel for a powerful strike on Iran. It is reported that on the night of October 4, the Americans began sending a large number of United States Air Force's auxiliary to Iraq and Turkey. In particular, over the past 24 hours, 2 Lockheed C-5M Super Galaxy heavy military transport aircraft, 2 Boeing C-17 Globemaster III military transport aircraft, and 7 units of the latest Boeing KC-46A Pegasus strategic tanker aircraft were diverted to Iraq and Turkey. Moreover, a few hours ago, the 15th Commander of United States Central Command, General Michael Kurilla, arrived in Israel for a technical military meeting. All this suggests that the United States and Israel are carefully preparing for a strike on Iran. In addition, on the night of October 5, abnormal activity of the Israeli diesel-electric submarines of the Dolphin and Dolphin II class was recorded in the Mediterranean waters. Let me remind you that Israel has 6 such submarines armed with Popeye turbo cruise missiles, capable of hitting targets at a distance of 1,500 kilometers. Moreover, on October 6, 2024, Middle Eastern sources confirmed that the Americans also began to transfer additional combat aviation squadrons to the Middle East. In particular, we are talking about the F-22 Raptor and McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jets. All this is being done in order to gain dominance in the skies over the border territories of Iran and the waters of the Strait of Hormuz. Seeing all this, Iran closed its airspace in the west of the country and withdrew all its tankers from its largest oil export terminal on Kark Island. In addition, Tehran has closed its airspace on the border with Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Iran has also put its air defense forces on full alert in the area of its nuclear facilities. In addition, Iran has significantly strengthened the protection of its airspace in the western part of the country, where the country's main missile bases are located. It is reported that all these strategic military facilities have been reinforced with S-400 air defense systems, which Iran bought from Russia back in 2022. In addition, Iran has also put its modern Su-35S fighter jets on full alert. Let me remind you that Iran also bought these modern fighter jets from Russia in 2022. Thus, very soon the whole world may witness the first ever battle of the Iranian Su-35S fighters and S-400 missile systems against the American and Israeli F-16, F-15, F-22, and F-35 fighter jets. Moreover, the influential American newspaper The New York Times, citing its own sources in the Pentagon and the Iranian military department, confirmed information that Tehran had asked Russia to provide reconnaissance satellite data on Israeli territory. In addition, sources in the Iranian military department confirmed that in the event of an attack by the United States and Israel on Iran, the Russian military would supply Iranian colleagues not only with valuable intelligence data, but also with missiles for modern Iranian Su-35S fighters and S-400 air defense systems. Against this backdrop, the United States and Israel risk facing a rival in the Middle East, which, in terms of its military and technical capabilities, will not only be inferior, but even surpass them. Meanwhile, influential news sources confirm that Washington continues to assemble a coalition of countries to conduct a limited military operation against Iran. In turn, Tehran has already warned Washington that Iran will respond extremely harshly to any attacks on its territory. At the same time, many Western experts admit that Washington is aware of all the risks of an attack on Iran, especially given the fact that in the event of hostilities, Tehran will not be left alone, and will continue to receive all necessary military and financial assistance from Russia and China. The fact is that Israel and the United States are well aware that Iran is not Lebanon or the Gaza Strip. They are well aware that Iran is not only capable of defending itself, but even striking back. That is why Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is doing everything to involve the United States in the war. And with Washington's help, destroy Iranian enrichment facilities along with the fuel and energy sector. Whatever it may be, even Western think tanks recognize the fact that an attack by Israel and its allies on Iran may bring unpleasant surprises to both Tel Aviv and Washington. In addition, the war with Iran may cause another image blow to the military-industrial complex of the United States and other Western countries. It is obvious that the United States does not want a repeat of the Ukrainian scenario, when the whole world saw the destroyed Abrams tanks, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, and F-16 fighter jets. It is obvious that the United States does not want dozens of footage of the destruction of F-35 fighters by Su-35 to appear on the network. Therefore, it can be assumed that the arrival of the commander of United States Central Command in Israel and the transfer of the United States Air Force's auxiliary to the Middle East is just a show of force, in order to simply scare Iran.